What I'm going to be doing today is fixing an exhaust leak on the Rambler. I took this thing to a car show the other day, and on the way back I noticed it's starting to make that little muffly sound that old Chevy motors start making after a little while when they blow out the exhaust manifold gasket, which I'm pretty sure this has done. I'll go ahead and crank it up so you can hear it. That muffly sound is coming from right down here, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be, what I've done is I've run my hand along each one of these manifolds and I can't feel it. I'm pretty sure it's going to be way down there. I'm going to have to get underneath the car. I can try tightening those bolts up, but I'm more than willing to bet you that it's blown that gasket out, and I'm going to have to get a new gasket put in there. This is a pretty common repair on these Chevy motors. I don't know why they blow that gasket out so much, but they do. I'll fix that today. Okay, I put 4 jack stands under the car. Count them, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 under the front A-frames and 2 under the frame. I'm going to lower the jack down so that it kind of rests on all 4 of the jack stands as well as on the jack, just a little bit. I can tell you this, if you've ever had a car fall on you, it can really inspire you to take this step, because when a car falls on you and you can't breathe, it tends to alter your focus in such a way that the most important thing of all becomes, how the heck am I going to get out from under here alive and keep breathing? That's not a very happy feeling, and I don't ever want to have it again. That's why I take the extra step of all the jack stands, because you know, being almost killed by a car once is enough. Okay, I already pretty much know from experience that that's going to be a 7/9/16 bolts up in there, and I'm going to need a long extension and a deep well socket to get to them. I'm not using a creeper because the creeper would just put me that much higher up off the floor, ground, whatever. And this old rug works good. See anything wrong or feel anything wrong. Probably much as I hate to, I'm going to have to crank this thing and then lay under it. And I want to make sure I feel it leaking before I fix the leak. There's no point in fixing a leak that ain't leaking. Alright, I'm going to bring you guys up under here with me so that you can see what I'm doing. One of the things I'm always really careful about is to try not to break the bolts on the exhaust manifold. That is a pain in the neck. Somebody, I'm sure, is going to write, so why don't you put some headers on that baby? Well, if you take a look at the space I have between the original stock manifold and the frame, that should answer your question right there. But anyway, what I'm doing, if you can see the end of my wrench sitting up in here, is I've actually established exactly where the leak is. It's up here. This thing here is a heat exchange doohickey. I don't know what you call it, but basically it was originally designed to close one side of the manifold in order to heat the car up quicker back when it was made. If I get this mirror up in here just right, you can see the back side of that, which I probably can't get the mirror up there just right, but when I did have it up here a while ago, I can see exactly where the leak is. It is right here, and that's exactly where the gasket is. The gasket's a little round donut doohickey. In order to get that out, I've got to take this loose and take the other side loose and pull the whole exhaust system down. Because the way this dual exhaust system is set up, well, maybe I don't. You know, I'm looking at this, I'm thinking about a car with a with a Y manifold, but this don't have that. This is dual exhaust all the way back, so let's just forget what I just said. I just got to take this one off. That's a good thing. So I did try before taking it off, tightening these up, snugged them up a little bit, not a great deal. I don't expect that's going to fix it, but you know, we'll see. I might get extraordinarily lucky. More than likely, I'm going to have to go to the parts store and get me a new one to put in there. So anyway, there's that. I thought I'd let y'all see what it's like to be under the greasy car. You know, as I am under here and looking at it. Not that I hadn't been under here before, but I think the old baby looks pretty good. That's a good looking transmission mount under there. Love those dual exhausts, and she don't look too rusty for a car up in this part of the country, so I like that. Okay, a little while later, and with a lot of dirt in my eye, I've been able to get the exhaust pipe loose and pull it back. You have the baffle piece right here that I was talking about, and the gasket, hard to get my finger up in there without being in the way, is that little piece that's right there. You can see it's deteriorated and falling out. If I can get this piece out of the way so that I can slide this baffle out of here and get a new gasket in there and get it all bolted back up, we're going to be good to go. The other way to do this is to take the whole manifold off, which I've done before. What I did this time is I loosened the hanger on the back. The hanger is welded, but I was able to bend the hanger enough to move the pipe enough to get it past that. So, like I say, if I can get that baffle out of there and get a new gasket back in there, tighten her all back up, we should be good to go. There's that. Okay, here I am fresh home from the parts store. I got a metal gasket this time instead of a fiber one. Those fiber gaskets tend to blow out really quickly. This one will not. This is going to be a big improvement. The other neat thing about this is that I'm going to be able to slip this one into place without actually taking that off. I can just reach right up in here, kind of turn it sideways, put it right down into this old whatchamacallit, baffle. There's no baffle in that, by the way, and then slide that baffle right up into place there. I don't know if you can see that, and then put my exhaust pipe back on there, put my nuts on there, tighten them up, and I'm going to be done. It's going to be good to go. One thing I will say is this thing has brass nuts rather than steel, because the brass won't corrode and rust to those bolts and break the bolts off. The brass will also strip before the steel bolts, which is an advantage, because, you know, if you've ever stripped a set of exhaust manifold bolts and know what a headache that is, you can understand why you wouldn't want to do that. Anyway, I'm going to work on that some more. Well, okay, let's get back to the track. That would be a no. So I guess I'll go tighten them up a bit more by hand. What I did here was to snug these up kind of gently with this air wrench. A little bit on each corner. There's 3 nuts up in there. I don't want to pull it really hard to one side or the other. Now what I'm going to do, since it's still leaking a bit, is just take me a little ratchet wrench. That way I can feel how much pressure I'm putting on each one and just slowly kind of adjust it up. Being careful not to strip anything, because that's really the big thing to try to avoid here. Well, as it turns out, the reason she was leaking was she had the wrong gasket in there. Originally, when I got this car, I had a 73 Chevy 350 in it. It has an 84 350 in it now. I assumed that the manifolds were going to be from 73. This is actually a gasket that fits an 84, and it has this little metal ring inside it. The other one doesn't. And when I got over here and that gasket didn't seem to be fitting right, I looked through the pieces of the old one, and I found what's left of this old metal ring. So it didn't take too much knowledge to put together the fact that I had the wrong gasket. So if this one slides in as good as the old one did, should be a piece of cake. I'll have this thing running in a few minutes. Let's see how it goes. Okay, I got the new gasket in there. Let's give it a try one more time. Look at that. That's a lot better. Okay then. It worked. Amazing how things work when you use the right parts, ain't it? Okay, that's done. I'll let this thing down and ease it out of here, and then maybe I'll work on the Roadster some today. Beautiful day for doing stuff like this, and I'm just having some fun with it. Have a nice day.